Well, it's John Black, Super Chemist. On a video called, you know, why don't we blame the 100%? This is a trick, and that we always fall for. Like, and I'm going to give you some examples of what I'm talking about. We always blame some other percentage group that's lower than 100%. Why don't we blame the 100%? Here's some examples. Lynching. Remember the KKK? What does history tell us from our public school books? The white KKK people was going around and they was lynching up all the black people. That's a lie, okay? That isn't what happened. It wasn't about white people lynching black people. How do I know? Because it's not 100%. If you have that theory that it was white people lynching black people, then there should be 100% of the people lynched would be black, but it is not that. That's not so. Okay, 10%, only 10% of the lynchings were black people. Yeah, 90% were white. So you might say, well, then I guess it was white people hanging other white people. No. It was Democrats, which is who was the deep state at that time. You know what I mean? The KKK, the slave owners, the elites, and the people doing the lynching. 100% of them were the elites. They were Democrat. Who were they lynching? Republicans. 100% of the people that were hung were Republicans. 10% were black, 90%. Why do we blame white people then? Obviously it was the elites, that had the control of the Democrats, and they were killing all the Republicans. And a small portion of them were black. It's like, same with slavery. There are white slaves, Asian slaves, black slaves. Of course, the black slaves took off and, kept going after the other ones. But you had slave owners that were white, black, Asian. 1% of the Asians had slaves, 1 to 3% of the blacks had slaves. Only 12.5% of whites had slaves. That's it. It means 87.5% did not have slaves. You know what I mean? But yet somehow we're blaming the whites, right? No, 100% of the slave owners were the elites. As a matter of fact, in every country from the beginning of time till today, it's always been 100% of the legal slave owners. 100% of them have been the elites. You don't see poor people with slaves. If you back end, you're making like a penny a day. You know what I mean? $1 a week or something. You're gonna buy an $800 slave. It would take you 10 lifetimes just to save up for one. No, only the rich had slaves. Who do we blame? And again, who puts these books into the public library? The public schools. Who picks them? Oh, that's right, the elites. All right, the elites are to blame, and they pick the books. Same way right now with the Democrats. Who do we? It's about the elites, right? And you can tell because there's like 8 Republicans that are acting like the Democrats, right? Because they're not acting like Democrats, they're acting like deep state. They're basically the same people. You know what I mean? They just do a pendulum. They move back from the public, right? The public gets Republicans in there, and then they go and go and go until it's so crazy that we can't stand them anymore. And then we swing back to Democrats. And then they do their thing and go until they're crazy. And then we just go back and forth. That way they get their crazy things in, right? As it swings back and forth, they just go crazy on both sides. But who do we blame? We blame the Democrats right now, but it's not the Democrats because there's really no parties. The idea that there's Republicans and Democrats are different, they're not controlled by the same people is insane. They're all controlled by the elites. 100% of the elites are destroying our country, but who do we blame? The Democrats. Small portion of the elites that are doing this. Same with the LGBT and BLM community. You know, we blame black people for burning down the BLM riots, you know, burning down cities. But it wasn't the people that were in charge of it. They were all the elites. Or they were communist. Same way with the LGBT. We blame the trans people, but these aren't people. These aren't trans people. They're communist. We keep blaming the wrong group every time. Civil War. We say that what? Well, let's not do the Civil War thing. Let's do the. How about women? You know, women. This is kind of getting off the subject here. This example, but what is a woman? You know what I mean? This is just a pet peeve here. I don't understand why people have to say, oh, they have a uterus. Oh, they bleed once a month. Oh, they have vaginas. Oh, they have babies. No, that's not what a woman is. Okay, because even though it's a big percentage, it's not 100% of women that can do all them things. There's some women that can't have babies, can't menstruate, can't this, can't that, blah 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 blah. So why when you know, because when you tell crazy leftists this stuff, oh, a woman that has a uterus, they're always going to bring up that, oh, that's not 100%, it's not 100%. So why don't you just give the definition that's 100%? A woman is an adult human with XX chromosomes. That's it. There is no other definition. It's stuff where you're naming physical traits and biological functions and biological organs and stuff. That's stupid. Quit doing that. Just when you have your definition, a definition about a woman, it needs to encompass all women. And there's only one definition that covers 100% of the women. That's XX chromosomes. And in my last example, which trust me, I have millions of examples if I wanted to. I could sit here all day and talk about how we blame the wrong people. You know what I mean? It's usually always the elites, right? In every example so far I've given you, it's always been the elites or communism, and the communism right now is because of the elites. Let's face it, you know what I mean? The last thing is the patriarchy. You know, the patriarchy really is only 1% of the men. It's less than 1% of the men who is the actual patriarchy that runs everything and controls everything. That means 99% or a little bit more than 99% of the men have zero power. None. Like I said in the last video or whatever, the whole history of our world, only 40% of men have actually procreated and have children. The other 60% didn't procreate, which leads me to believe a lot of them never have sex their entire life. How is that a patriarchy where 60% of your group doesn't even get sex? Get real, man. That's a crappy patriarchy, I'll tell you that. And today, 30%, what is it, 30% or something? I'm guessing on this one, but I know it's somewhere around there. And men 30 and under, 30% of them are either, believe it or not, virgins at 30, or they haven't had sex in the last 2 years. How is that? 1/3 of the male gender can't even get laid, but they're oppressing people. They're oppressing women. Really? They can't even oppress women into sleeping with them. So how much oppression are they giving them? How much oppression are they having? You know what I mean? I mean, why? And it's obvious why we do it, because humans are stupid. You know what I mean? But if you just keep doing this stupid bull, how are you ever going to stop the elites from destroying society all the time and trying to swoop in and buy everything pennies on a dollar and then fix everything so that everything they bought goes back up to the regular value? I mean, how can you stop that? How can you stop this globalization? How can you stop? And what's funny is there's the people that are not part of the deep state is like 99.999% of the population. We could easily get rid of the deep state. Easily. But there's only one way we could do it. It's if we stop putting everyone in a box. There's only two boxes. It's the people that are part of the deep state, and there's people that ain't part of the deep state. That's the two boxes. You know, you got your Americans, and you got your royalty and royal puppets that are controlled by the deep state monarchy, basically. Those are the only two boxes. Until we start realizing it's only two boxes. These people don't care. Like, you know, it's never about skin. It's never about religion. Oh, they're Jews. They're this. They're that. No, it's not. It's they are rich. Okay? Just like look at the slavery, right? Everyone is like, oh, it's because white people hated black people. No. The elites were buying white slaves for, you know, hundreds of years, you know, 100 years or 200 years or whatever. Well, I guess not that long, but 100 years, 50 years before black slavery even started, they had white slaves all over the United States. And if it would have been cheaper to get a white slave, and they would have been just as plentiful as the blacks at that time, then there would be no black slavery. They would all be white, okay? Because it would have been. They don't care about skin color. They care about how much it costs to get the slave. And is there a whole bunch so I can get one? Because there was a whole bunch more blacks than whites because they were starting to get rid of slavery in the UK, and you know with the Irish. Just totally forgot my train of thought. But yeah, it has nothing to do with skin color. They would enslave their own skin color. They would enslave their own religious people. They will enslave anyone that's just like them. They don't care because they don't think that they're. See, you think that these elites, you know, they're Jewish, say that they think that the other Jewish people below. No, these people up here, they don't think of us as humans. Yeah, they think of them as royalty. They think of them as elite. You know. Just because they happen to be Jewish doesn't mean that they think that these other Jews below them in the dirt are the same people, the same species. No, they're not. Same with whiteness. You know, the people, the white elites. Hey, if they can enslave whites, they'll do it. They don't care. You know, because they don't consider themselves that. They only have two groups, and the elites only have two boxes: them and us. That's why they win, because they divide us up into millions of boxes and we allow them to do that. Because they're all just so brainwashed, it is unreal. It's totally unreal, man. Let's see how much time we have here. I got another minute and a half or so. I'm going to try to babble a little bit, but this is a very big problem that we refuse to blame the 100%. And one of the biggest reasons why we don't blame the 100% is because we're taught not to in our public schools. And who picks these books that are taught in these public schools? The elites. Get it? Get it? Yeah, they teach us that the Federal Reserve Bank is used to stabilize the economy when it actually does the opposite. It destroys the economy. It just gives them, the elites, the control. When they control the economy, you know, collapse it, and when they put it back up. That's all it does. It doesn't, yeah, stabilizes it for them because they can destroy it or bring it back. Yeah, you know, they give us these lies. You know, that the World Bank is helping people when they're just screwing everybody. And, you know, all right, well, that's it. I'm calling it a